Everybody, I am back with wrapping up the Destiny 2 cutscene reactions. I didn't realize how long this is going to take, but we're finally going to be wrapping up today. So, probably next Saturday, I'll be getting my next new video game reaction cutscenes to possibly Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the first one. I have to double check because there's been people putting in for the first Gears of War for me to react to cutscenes from that. So I'll double check, but it might be Marvel Ultimate Alliance. As a matter of fact, I'll go through each of the Ultimate Alliance games and react to those cutscenes, and then I can probably work my way to the Gears of War stuff. But anyway, before I continue, please do me a huge favor. If you like this, the content I've been providing, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends, and without further ado, let's begin.
There would be a cost in bargaining with Riven. I did not intend it to be a cost we kept paying all these years later. But now, the Witch Queen's scrolls have confirmed my greatest fear. The curse on the Dreaming City cannot be undone. I've poured over 1,000 possibilities, but the Corsair souls trapped there remain. I won't give up on them. Even with the curse in place, there must be a way to bring my people home.
She owned a cat this whole entire time?
A task for tomorrow, perhaps. All this pain Riven has inflicted, and still we're beholden to her. There must be alternatives to restoring her clutch. The resurgence of the Ahamkara now, taken or not, could be disastrous. The Reef and the last city went to war to stop them before. For now, above all else, we must pursue the Witness. I need an operative to finish this bargain with Riven. Force her to enact the final wish. So while I ponder countermeasures, you do what you do best. Carve a path.
I like this character. I love her design.
Oh, guardian mine. I always knew we could work together. We meet again, oh murderer mine. I always knew we could work together. I speak to you now with my true voice. Consider it a sign of trust. The need for deceit has passed. My corporeal death freed me from the Taken curse. My bargain with their king has expired. These Technians strain themselves to conjure my essence. They cannot do so forever. Savathun's wish will be the last I grant. Mara has made clear the terms of our agreement. Retrieve my last clutch of uncorrupted eggs, and I will uphold my end of the bargain. Obviously, I cannot gather the eggs myself. Instead, I will guide you to them, through the holes of my former lair. And beware, Guardian. You may find it a place most unwelcoming.
Tell me, Guardian, does helping Riven sit with you as it does me? She is a blade held in our hand. Held too tightly, or trusted not to slip, and it will draw blood.
Airing your concerns to the Guardian as well. doubt is a useful tool, Queen Mara. But double-edged, is it not?
This wish was crafted by Savathun. Riven cannot be trusted with it. Has the Veil offered any answers?
My study has yielded many interesting curiosities. I understand how the Witness opened the Traveler, but not yet how to replicate it. I need more time.
I wish we had more, if you'll pardon the phrase. Time would allow me to insulate us from Riven's ulterior motives. But we've left the Witness undisturbed for too long. We must act.
Risk is a thing I've learned should be managed, not provoked.
Riven is risk incarnate.
To follow the Witness, I must reconstruct the bridge it forged through the Guardian's ghost. But the Veil is not a docile subject. Abuse it, and a similar fate suffered by the Dreaming City could repeat on New Muna.
So we bide our time, while you seek an answer. Until then, we have a dragon to charm.
Back from scheming with
Looks like a
Mara,
giant
are
whale.
you?
Like Wailord
Fear
from Pokemon.
not, O guardian mine. I hold no contempt for those who prepare contingencies. In fact, that is what I respect most about Mara. She is wise not to trust me, as I have never trusted her. For ages, Awoken and Ahamkara were both allies and adversaries, each seeking to extract a victory from the other. That is the nature of all bargains, to relinquish as little as possible, while securing all you desire. Our bargain is no different. It is not built on trust, but on the knowledge that upholding it will benefit us both. And that breaking it will result in more suffering than you can imagine. We must wait for another egg to drift across the ley lines and re-enter our reality. Continue securing my lair until then. Those who now trespass within it have nothing to bargain with, and are thus of no use to me. You would do well to keep that in mind. A timely arrival, Guardian. Another egg from my clutch will soon pass by our reality. You should prepare to claim it. It is a strange turn of events that they were cast into the Ascendant Plane. Strange, but not unintentional, I suspect. Ask yourself, who would benefit from such a situation? Who wields the requisite mastery over the ley lines? Who has a history of sequestering the Ahamkara to keep them hidden? I said before that I do not trust Mara Sov. Tell me, do you? She offers you praise and gifts, bequeaths to you a share of her power. Is she so different from an Ahamkara? From me? Do you truly believe she wishes for nothing in return? Know this, Guardian. I have been forthright about what I stand to gain from our arrangement. A future for my otherwise extinct kind. Mara, on the other hand, what does she stand to gain?
Bad news, Guardian. I bring word from the Techians. Riven's clutch has dispersed across the ley lines of the Ascendant Realm. They now orbit our reality like comets around a sun. Hopefully not beyond our reach. The Techians are uncertain how this happened, but they've detected a massive surge of paracausal energy across the entire transit system. The residual energy has allowed us to predict each egg's trajectory across the lines. The Techians themselves were once scattered across the lines in kind. Guardians were there to guide them home, and we can secure the clutch using the same strategy. Riven has caused so much strife, and yet we prostrate ourselves to placate her once again. And too many Corsairs will die on this quest to give the Ahamkara a second chance. As I said, we once utilized the ley lines to find the lost Techians. We can use them again. Fight your way into the Blind Well and reroute the lines through Riven's lair. We'll prepare landings for the clutch as best we can. Another egg secured. Well done, Guardian.
The Taken aren't the only creatures attempting to thwart us. Riven seeks to entangle us in another loop, to keep us chasing down her clutch while the Witness runs rampant.
If this is a game, it suits your purposes. Sailing the eggs away, buying time for your broken warlock to cheat me. You have my terms. See this through, or make peace with your fate.
You've made excellent progress, but the remainder of the clutch will never reach us if they remain on their current trajectories. Queen Mara and her Techians once communed with the Harbingers, entities that can traverse the weft and weave of the ley lines. Mara's personal Harbinger can bring the clutch home, but she'll need to guide it with a signal. We need you to retrieve a Starlight Lodestone. It's a channeling medium the Queen can use to signal the Harbinger. All this to help Riven while the Dreaming Halls remain locked in her curse. The temporal loop that binds the Dreaming City could continue to plague the reef indefinitely. I wish my people could rest. I wish I could aid the trapped Corsairs across our shores. But Riven's curse is just a preamble compared to the final shape. The Witness seeks to finish what it started with the collapse. And so we remain occupied, and Rhea Sylvia burns. I regret we can do no more to advance your position in the field, but I'll be in touch as soon as the Queen finishes her communion.
I understand your concern. But if we cannot rely upon the Veil, the Ahamkara is our only option.
Even if it was Savathun who pointed us at Riven in the first place?
The Witness is our priority. We've dealt with Savathun and Riven in the past.
And now Savathun is free and Riven is toying with us. I won't end up as a puppet again.
Nor I.
Sorry, I didn't mean...
I fear it too. The experience of watching your body perform a series of actions you would never condone. Of that terrible regret. But that fear won't stop me. Just as I know it won't stop you.
Was any of it real? All that advice Savathun gave me while she pretended to be you.
At the time Aldrin began his campaign against the reef, he was already suffering from the Black God's corruption. Riven must have found him an easy victim. One could argue he wasn't fully in command of his decisions. All the same, the impact of those decisions was very real. So, let me ask you this. Did I give you good advice?
Life-changing.
Then hold on to it.
So this is what? The third bargain we've struck with a compulsive liar?
Having your back to the wall is never a good feeling.
It's so much worse. being back in the Dreaming City.
Now that you remember?
I know every inch of it. The gardens, the palace. How it used to be. Before Riven's curse.
Oh. Crow.
If it wasn't for me, the curse would never have happened.
Riven used you. Used us. Our grief, our desperation. I wanted vengeance more than anything. The truth is, if I thought hiding from my guilt would help anyone, I'd be on the far side of the system.
You don't think we're just making the same mistake?
Uldren used to say, if you don't like the odds, don't sit at the table. Trusting Riven is a risk. But without her, we have no way of pursuing the witness. I'd rather risk failing than wait here for the final shape.
Right there with you.
Yeah.
Guardian, we are coming to the final moments. These choices, these risks, they mean everything. Mara requests that I provide some small measure of insurance should Riven prove too perilous a gamble. I've learned the Veil is linked to the Traveler, that this link was not created. It is a primal truth of their existence, a pairing. The Witness accessed this link through your ghost. The motions of what it did are written in the Veil's own memory. But like an incantation, without the ritual, the understanding, the words, so to speak, the motions are useless. My attempts to recreate what the Witness did, to follow it, have been inadequate. And dangerous. I must temper my ambitions. The Veil is the power of consciousness, made manifest in our physical world. It whispers an electromagnetic language that resonates with our minds. One that can be deciphered, but not by the laws we wield in this universe. It's no easy task. If there is another way to follow the Witness, I'll find it here, on Neptune. It will take time, as all things do. Continue to aid Mara, and I will uncover what knowledge I can.
Another egg safely retrieved. I may have to make good on my word. Though from what the Techyons whisper, the rest will prove more elusive. Mara may have to take drastic measures to catch them. All reward requires risk. Mara knows this truth better than most. That is what first enticed me to stay with the Sov siblings. Their penchant for adventure. Their unquenchable ambition. Each of them deliciously reckless in their own way. Your crow hides it well, but I can still smell Uldren's daring nature on him. Imagine what he could accomplish if only he'd embrace it. Ah, but you charge headlong into danger without a second thought. All for the promise of power. I knew from the first moment I set eyes on a Lightbearer that your kind would change everything for the Ahamkara. And oh, how right I was.
It's not a whale. I can see the
You've
arms and everything like
returned.
that.
Would that the
I'm just
Queen's
thinking it's like a
wishes
big
have your
whale.
punctuality, a warden mine. The Techyons have started work on the Lodestone, but they can't finish it without help. I would love to find amusement in their inadequacy. Make a meal of it. However, the task of helping those who can't help themselves has fallen on your shoulders again. Something of the Ahamkara in you, perhaps? The lodestone must be attuned to the confluence, like teaching a compass where north lies. I've simplified, of course, for your sake. The calibration will take some time. Should I pray for you to make it out alive?
Queen Mara, I hail you now out of necessity of the heart. Else I feel as though I will burst into solar flame. Long have I admired you from afar, ever since you graced me with your power and benevolence in the Reef Wars. Not a day goes by without me thinking back to the time you bade me repay that debt to you. How we spent hours together, long into the night. Would that you spirit me to your side again, to serve as your consort, your knight, your humble vassal, anything to be near you. I beg you to grant me an audience once more. Please give me the gift and the privilege of basking in your favor. For without you, I shall wither and crumble into dust, to be scattered across the cosmic winds.
This again? You and I both know he sounds nothing like that, Riven.
Perhaps I should use a voice with which you are even more intimately familiar. How about...
Do not speak her name.
As you wish, O Majesty mine.
I heard you over the comm channels. I am sorry that we are forced to entreat with Riven. She and I have our own histories to navigate, but what she did to you, how she wormed her way into your mind, that was inexcusable. It pains me to put you through this.
Even after all that's happened, you still think I need to be protected?
No, that is not.
It's all right, Mara. I understand. We've always shared a connection. Even when you were lost in the Ascendant Plane, I could still feel your presence. Your heartbeat. I knew you weren't truly gone. Riven was only able to manipulate me because of how strong our connection was. Is. I've made choices I'm not proud of. But I'll never apologize for the reason I made them. It's the same reason you reach out even now, when you see me struggling. You're my sister. Nothing can break that bond. Not death, not Riven, not even the light.
Like Ager and Rhaegar, finding each other in the storm.
Yeah, well... all that we've been through. That's no fable. We stood together as the world collapsed around us.
And we'll stand together again.
Guardian, I'm afraid progress is slow. The Veil is a clever tangle in and of itself. It reforms as the consciousnesses connected to it ebb and flow. They rush in, awash with dreams and wonder, and then drain away. I believed that once I understood the Veil, mechanically, once I understood Strand, that I would see its patterns with new clarity. That has not happened. This is not like charting a course through the currents of a sea or the depths of space. It is an architecture defined by how we intend to imagine it. Not dissimilar to the Ascended Plane, but if more like its opposite. The Ascended Plane mirrors aspects of our world, aspects of will and import, to those who traverse it. Those aspects are decided upon through our actions. The Veil, conversely, weaves not with our will, not our decisions, but with intent, unfiltered by logic. What we feel, not what we decide. Mapping such a thing would be like rebuilding a creature from the calcified remains we found aboard the pyramid ships. They are an image of a dissection, a deadened echo of existence. But to look at them as they are, to see their disparate parts, even understanding their anatomy, does not give us the knowledge to make them as they were. I will continue to seek the path the Witness forged into the Traveler, but I am no longer confident that it could ever be walked again. Riven may be our only option.
So many wish to be closer with their family. The absent and the estranged cause rifts in a person's psyche. I hear them even now. Let me speak to my father again, one last time. Let my daughter see me for who I am. One of the stranger human impulses, don't you find? Above all, Ahamkara want to feed, to drink deep of the gulf between desire and reality. Other Ahamkara are competitors for limited resources, not allies. The only exception is a mate. Sometimes we reach beyond ourselves. Perhaps if we stood by one another more, we'd have survived the great hunt. If we were a little more human. But that bargain is not within our natures to make. You return again, Guardian. And so does another egg from my clutch. It seems Mara's Harbinger has succeeded in pulling it close enough for you to catch. How convenient. Though it would have been far more convenient for them not to have been scattered at all. I have never taken Mara at her word. But she is not a fool. Had she been the one to set my eggs adrift, then she would have devised an easier way to retrieve them. One that requires less risk. But if Mara was not the one responsible, then who was? And what did they stand to gain from it? Manipulating the ley lines like this reeks of paracausal magic. An Ahamkara's doing. Someone wished for this. And when I find out who it was, then I will feast.
The Techians are in final preparations for the lodestone. Your work
Never
in
mess
its
with the mother and her
calibration was
babies.
invaluable. It will serve as a beacon for the Queen to make contact with her personal Harbinger. She'll commune with it. Ask it to guide the remainder of the clutch back to us. It's the last of its kind. And it's good to see a Harbinger, normally a weapon of war, used for diplomacy. Even with Riven. In the past, the pinnacle of the Spine of Caris provided the open sky the Queen needed for this communion. It will suffice again. But the Taken can test that region, as they have since Riven's curse rang out. They will hinder your every step. So cut through them, secure the spine, and the Queen will do the rest.
Hey, Guardian. The Vex may have snuck in ahead of us, but we're not out of the race yet. Osiris thinks that a Vex mind must have figured out how to simulate the Techians. So long as they have access to those algorithms, the Vex can track the eggs, same as we can. So, we'll just have to steal them back. I managed to pick up the trail. Looks like the Soul Divisive tucked the egg away in the Black Garden. Lucky for us, that's familiar territory. I remember how to get in. All we need is the head of a Vex Gate Lord. Kidding. Turns out Riven had her own path into the garden. You'll have to get in there and put that Vex mind out of commission. I'll be on comms, keeping an eye on the tracking signal. And watching your back, of course.
The voices are asking to use me as a vessel.
That's Taranis.
Who?
Let him speak. Please.
I'll try anything twice. Let's hear you, whoever you are.
Riven. How I've missed you.
Taranis. What have you done?
I've made my last wish.
Your wish. You utter fool.
It's been fulfilled. Thanks to you and the Wishkeeper. I can rest.
If there were anything left of you, I'd flay it from your bones.
It was good to dance with you, oh beloved mine. One last time.
Who was he, Riven?
Taranis was my mate. I was not always a prisoner in the Dreaming City. The Ahamkara were once free to roam its halls. That's where I met Taranis. And Taranis, unlike others, unlike me, cherished those who wished to him. Those who bargained with him were safe. It must have cost him. I found his restraint intriguing. And my art, my dreaming halls, my dance with the Queen moved Taranis in turn. Together, we became the ebb and flow of the tide. Through him, I glimpsed a world without the tireless cycle of bargaining and feeding. Of peace. Taranis invited me to his lair, a place where we couldn't be found, in the ontology of the Black Garden. My joy of turning desire to woe faded for one rapturous moment. We made successes together. We built secrets together. And then came your great hunt of the Ahamkara. The Queen took my freedom under guise of protection. Taranis Tyrannus and I were forever separated. But we could still whisper to one another in the space between. At least until a king arrived and made a bargain I could not refuse. I became both king and dragon. I spoke with his voice, and Tyrannus knew it. So he did the one thing our kind must never do. Grant his own wish at the cost of his existence. A wish to keep the eggs out of harm's reach until someone could protect them. Someone like you. His wish keeper.
Osiris, are you on this channel?
I am. Quite frequently these days. How may I assist the Queen's wrath?
A personal matter. I was hoping you could tell me about your experience with Strand, how it's affected you.
Strictly research, but it is fascinating.
We know you've learned to wield it.
Who told you this? Mara. The rumors are true. I am still only a figment of my former self.
That's understandable. But your worth was never seated in the light. It's in your mind.
I imagine I'm not unlike one of your Techians, then. If I'm not mistaken, the Queen mentioned you trained as one yourself.
A long time ago, without much success. Though my sister, Pinar, excelled in her training. She was the pride of Amethyst. I was not. But, even with that power, she couldn't stop the House of Wolves from razing our home. I joined the Corsairs shortly after, to hunt the wolves down.
Loss has a way of shaping us all.
And clouding us. I thought the decisions I was making were the ones required of me. A kind of honor-bound reaction to pressure. I burned bridges across the reef on my hunt. Without Mara, I'd be an outcast. Now, seeing the new coven, having their respect, their trust, I can do more than just react. Maybe I can tap into that training for something progressive, as something other than a Techian, for the benefit of our people.
I've learned that failure is not a lacking within us. It is a sign that we were not ready to face the challenge we chose at the time. We must fall to start again, Petra. But as long as we persist, hope remains. Potential remains. Perhaps you're ready now.
I can see why Mara values your perspective. Thank you, Osiris.
Tyrannus was always a sentimental fool. His last wish has caused us no small amount of trouble. All wishes come at a cost, even those we Ahamkara grant ourselves. Especially those we grant ourselves. My kind feeds on the difference between what is desired and what comes to pass. That is why we grant wishes the way we do. In granting our own wish, we eliminate that difference. We smother the flame, and our voices fall silent. Our existence ends. Ahamkara are selfish creatures, not prone to such acts of sacrifice. But Tyrannus, he was different. His sacrifice might save us all. You destroyed the Vex mine simulating the Techion's work. The Vex will not reach the eggs first again. But they still hold my lair. Put Taranis' gift to good use, O Guardian mine. It is your turn to grant a last wish. Something is wrong. Its stench lingers in the air, wafting up from the shadows of the confluence. I remember this sensation. The creeping whispers. Putrid oil on water. Taken corruption seeps into my lair, as it once did into me. Mara's Techions expect another egg will enter our reality soon. Cut the strings of those Taken puppets as you traverse the confluence. As I said before, Oryx's bargain with me has expired. I owe him nothing. The same holds true for the Witness. If it seeks to take something from me without reaching an accord, then I will reclaim what is mine with vengeance in my heart. Make haste. Reach my offspring before the Taken. Taranis' sacrifice must not have been made in vain.
I have no love for Riven, and no complete trust of an Ahamkara's predatory nature. But we need that final wish fulfilled. A bargain with Riven cannot be altered, perhaps not even by her. And we owe her all of the clutch. Guardians have freed Techeuns from Taken influence before. The effort and circumstances were extraordinary, but perhaps it can be done again. In our war with the Taken in the Dreaming Halls, we found that Taken ontology, when faced with itself, feeds on itself. Following that principle, you should be able to find a coalescence of Taken essentia in the Ascendant Realm. Theoretically, we could use it to cleanse the egg. That's all the strategy I can offer you, I'm afraid. Your tenacity in this is appreciated. And appropriate. If we fail here, Riven loses an egg. But we lose our path to the Witness. And all roads thereafter.
How do you know exactly how many eggs that she's looking
I don't
for?
know. I haven't spoken to Jolion since Glint raised me.
You used to be inseparable. It's not just anyone who would follow you into the Black Garden.
I thought you'd want me to keep my distance.
Queen Mara wanted to protect you from Uldren's memories. I think we're past that.
Yeah, probably.
You should reach out. Julian is a good man.
I'm a different person. That probably goes for Jolion, too. The last time he saw me...
Let him make that decision. You were close. Chances are you could be again.
I'll think about it. You know, you still give good advice, Petra.
Yeah, well, I never take it.
I've ascertained the path the Witness took, but the Veil alone cannot safely reconstruct it.
What stops you?
Instability. The Veil traces the shape of our consciousness, but that shifts as fluidly as our thoughts do. It is as though we alter the path by observing it. None would survive the crossing.
I can grant passage. Savathun's wish can weave the ley lines into the veil, entangle them for a moment. But you will not send an army on the wings of a wish. Only one.
One? Explain this deception.
You've done me a great many services, O Warden's Mine. I'll grant you the ultimate Ahamkara courtesy. The complete truth. Savathun's wish grants one singular passage. No more.
You knew from the beginning. You sought to twist our aspirations, as your kind always does.
How many of my clutch would you have saved had you been privy to the limitations of our arrangement?
Play your part, lest I shape you into a trinket of caged hunger to be forgotten in the Guardian's vault.
I am your helpless prisoner. What other part would you wish I play? I cannot change Savathun's intent.
Then what use are you to me?
Mara, one. Maybe all we need.
I am being transparent. Kind, even. It could always be worse. As you know.
This is our only way to pursue the witness.
One to send.
Curious. This simplifies things. What if... Yes. Guardian, excuse me, I believe I'm onto something. One to send, she said. I believe the witness had found a point of weakness and exploited that point to pierce the traveler's defenses. But the witness did not gain entrance through an attack. It parried. There was no need to breach a door because through the traveler's resistance, the way was left open. Its blast was meant to expel, but the witness redirected the flow of that intent with its own, using the veil. If Riven can imprint the ley lines into the veil, send one of our own to the other side without invitation, we can open the door. Once open, Guardian, the path to it matters not. Only that we're now able to cross the threshold. The veil will flow to that point around any obstacle. I told you I was onto something. It sounds simple in retrospect to use the ley lines as means of travel, as we have before. But they do not touch the traveler, nor the veil, and not even Mara can command them to do so. It may seem as though Riven promises more than is possible. But that is the foundation of a wish. We must yield to our disbelief and give ourselves over to chance. In that unknown venture, in discovery, the path forward is revealed. One egg remains. Then all our integument risks, our layered depths to this cause, finally, their worth will be realized.
Thanks to Mara's efforts, the egg was cleansed of its corruption and saved. The irony is not lost on me. I suppose I should thank her, though she may not be receptive to my gratitude at the moment.
You think?
Mara will soon recognize that it was a gift for me to divulge what I did now, rather than when the wish is made. Perhaps she already has. Even an Ahamkara's power has its limits. It is beyond my ability to alter the path that the witness opened. Savathun knew this, which is why she crafted her wish to make use of the ley lines instead. Always so clever, that one. And the witness. Its ambition knows no equal. This final shape that it seeks is not unlike a wish itself. One that would forever erase the difference between desire and reality. Anathema to my kind. I will not have my progeny suffer such an existence. Continue securing my lair and gathering my clutch. Mara was right about one thing. Like with the portal, I cannot alter the terms of our bargain. Collect all of the eggs,
I've
or the
altered the
wish
deal.
cannot
Pray I
be
don't alter it
granted,
any further.
even if I desire it. The Techians have determined the trajectory of my final egg.
Jeez, final egg, thank
It
goodness.
won't be within our reach for some time. A fortunate delay, according to Petra. She and the Techians have a plan. Guardians complain of the nature of Ahamkara, that we hoard secrets like you hoard weapons. Then you understand us. Why demand a river flow uphill? We all have our settled natures. This is an Ahamkara's. Once, it was Queen Mara's. She's been working to change herself, altering the river's course. I'm forced to trust this new Mara, despite what I am. As are you, despite what you are. You and I will see where the river flows.
What were you hoping to achieve by threatening Riven? Had I not been there to stop you?
Osiris, I admit I was angry. I'm seldom able to express my emotions openly. But I had no intention of harming Riven. I only wanted her to believe I might.
Perhaps you could warn me first. I was worried you lost sight of our goal.
Have I ever been one to miss the forest for the trees?
Quite the opposite. While I tend to find myself mired in the details of the leaves.
Both sorts are necessary. Your eyes on the fight before us, and mine on the horizon.
How do you see the end so clearly? Even within the infinite forest, I could not predict as you do.
Clairvoyance is a charade. The ground shifts beneath us as we walk. We manage best when we make our own stepping stones. You know better than most how many times we've had to adjust our methods to achieve victory. My death at Saturn to pierce Oryx's defenses.
Countless recalculations against the Vex. Stealing Sabathun's secrets from within.
The planting of the silver tree on Io.
I took some convincing on that. But it truly was the beginning.
Sagira's death, Crow's choices, your new perspective, none of these were part of the plan.
Each adjustment came at a cost. I wonder what costs the witness has yet to extract from us.
Whatever they are, we will meet them. And persevere.
Guardian, I'm glad you're here. I've been thinking about what Riven said. If we have to pin all our hopes on a single person, there's one obvious choice. But I think I have a better idea. Now hear me out. If you go through the portal, there's no way we can send anyone in after you. You'd be out there on your own. But Mara and I share a bond. Even across the Ascendant Plane, I can always sense where she is. And the same goes for her. So, let me do it. If I go through the portal, Mara can use our connection to guide everyone through to, well, wherever I end up. I plant the beacon, and you come and kick the door down. Please, Guardian, I have to believe I was reforged in the light for a purpose. I can do this. We can do this. I just have to tell Mara.
The final egg lies in the heart of the confluence, where the Queen's throne sits in the Dreaming City. It's hidden in a far corner, inaccessible except through the dormant Oracle engine. Reactivating the engine would be trivial, if not for the Vex. We've been spending our focus on claiming eggs, while the Soul Divisive encircles our walls. Another threat to this system, and it's the Reef and its people that pay for it once again. War always comes with a cost, but every day seems to bring a new one. There's never time to rebuild. When this is done, if we're still standing, the Reef and its people come first for me. I hope I'll have your support in that. Locate the Vex oracles preventing us from accessing the Oracle engine. Destroy them. Then we can get on with this bargain. The witness lies just beyond our reach. Shuro Chi and the others have made good use of the taken essentia you obtained. The spell to cleanse the egg has been prepared, but it requires paracausal fuel to ignite. Riven could provide us with the spark herself, but we can't trust her not to take advantage. In her current state, she might be unable to, even if she won't admit it. I'd take it myself, but I've hurled expletives at its mother and made too many wishes out loud during this operation. For all we know, that's how the Great Hunt was begun. Instead, you could allow the egg to feed on your desire, as a catalyst to jumpstart the spell. It should be perfectly safe. This Ahamkara is not yet born. You're not making a true bargain. And we have no other choices. Head to Riven's lair and focus on what you crave of the outcome. Let's hope we don't end up with another curse.
How long has it been since I last set foot within these halls? An isolated throne, overlooking an endless cosmic expanse. A symbol of who I once was. Distant, detached, inscrutable. But as my brother has changed, so too have I. No longer do I sow solitude and reap remorse. I choose, instead, to trust. I have no further need for this chamber, but with the Oracle engine restored, we can reach the heart of the confluence and the final egg. Return for now. When the time comes, we will complete our bargain and trust Riven to keep her word.
Why is your first inclination ever to charge headlong into danger?
Because you're always keeping an eye on me.
You have fallen from my sight before. I may lose you.
It is impossible to know the probability of success. But,
Don't give me that. This is exactly like something you do.
yes. Queen Mara.
You are not sending him, Osiris.
No, of course. But, if he were to reach the other side, your connection, like the Traveler in the Veil, was forged in a collision of light and dark. It is a tangible thing.
We do not know that it would remain so. Whoever goes, more than likely goes alone.
Our problem has always been focused. By aligning your and Crow's connection with the Veil. Entangled on either side of the Traveler, I believe I can forge a bridge between you. One we could all traverse safely.
I'd be a flare in the darkness for Osiris. Then we call in the cavalry. You could find me in the storm, sister. Tell them where to go.
Do you know what you are asking?
The Guardian would be but a step behind him.
I cannot keep you from your purpose. I cannot control this. And so, I put my trust in you. All of you. You will return to me.
Let's get to work.
How do you propose we compensate for the quantum?
You won't be but a step behind him, will you? Take care of him.
The Queen and her brother, they impressed me. I appreciated their natures, Mara's skill in crafting wishes, her self-controlled cleverness. Aldrin's ambition, his endless struggle for a greater prize to
Like
lay at
9 more
his
minutes
sister's
left.
feet. Now they have reached beyond their original natures, all for the greater good. Altruism. It's too rich for my blood. Too risky. Such vulnerability. And for what payoff? Still, the altruists can be even more dangerous to their enemies than the ambitious. If self-preservation isn't a concern, what can stop you? If you can't be predicted, how can you be countered? Dangerous. But that danger can be compelling. Don't you find? The Queen and her brother, the time has come. Mara's Techians say that the last remaining egg will soon enter the heart of the confluence. Once it is secured, then by the terms of our bargain, I will grant Savathun's wish. Doing so will require a great expenditure of my power. The Techians will not be able to maintain my conjuring afterward. Which is to say, that the wish will be our farewell. Oh, guardian mine. What a strange life this has been. By Ahamkara standards, it was comfortable and luxurious. I spent my days with royalty and my nights with my beloved. I never wanted for sustenance, for I was presented with wishes to spare. And though it was all taken from me, in the end, my murderer set me free and ensured the future of the progeny my mate and I created. Now, I will sacrifice my own lingering existence to ensure your future in return. Perhaps I am more like Tyrannus than I would like to admit. He always claimed I was.
Could that have worked? Could the scorn have brought a wish to fruition like that?
No. At least, I do not believe it is possible. Though I wasn't willing to see them try.
This egg is not the first to find itself in your court. Did you intend to breed the Ahamkara again?
I intended to maintain a suitable suite of options from which to choose. Nothing more. Those plans were made so long ago, Osiris, and the eggs corrupted beyond healing. Things are different now. Whether the Ahamkara live on is not mine to choose.
To relinquish control is almost as frightening as trust or hope. Sometimes, that is all we have.
And in that trust, our pact concludes. I will make your wish.
Riven's last clutch, plucked from the void and saved from extinction. Maybe that bodes well for the rest of us. Either way, we held up our end of the bargain. Now it's Riven's turn. Hey, I need to tell you something while I have the chance. That first moment when I woke up in the Dreaming City, I was so lost, confused. I didn't know where to go, who to trust. Everyone hated me for something I couldn't even remember. But you helped me find my footing. And when my memories came back and everything made less sense than ever, you were there to see me through. You gave me the chance to walk through the Dreaming City with my head held high and the courage to follow a new path. Thank you, Guardian, for everything. See you, Starside.
Are you sure you want this?
Osiris thinks it's the best shot we've got.
You didn't answer my question.
I don't know. I've been trying to find what I want my whole life, even as Uldren. I used to think the Traveler gave me purpose. Uldren thought his came from you.
I never meant to twist you so, only to keep you safe. My protection turned malignant. For that, I am sorry.
It wasn't just you. Uldren heard your heartbeat and chose to make that his core. He mistook impulse from meaning. I won't. So, I guess it's not that I want this. I need it. I believe in it. And even if I don't make it, everyone else just might.
I sacrificed you before to preserve a chance for a future. I can't do that again.
I'll be fine, as long as you and I stick together. Remember, Rega?
Still subsisting off stories of hope and bravery. I have missed you.
I guess I always have been one to fill my head with nonsense, right?
Your hope is not nonsense. It is a vital line of sustenance. One I have learned through our people. Fill your heart with it, and I will keep you in mine until you return to me.
I will.
Go then. Find purpose of your own, and not one of mine or anyone else's making.
Thank you, sister. You'll see me again. And this time, I'll remember you.
So the generation of Ahamkara turns over. One last death to feed new life. What will it feed within you? This one you shall cherish, O guardian mine.
You're sure about this?
I am. It has to be me. We'll find each other again.
Always.
I kept my promise, as you did yours. Isn't that a pleasant surprise?
For that, at least, you have my thanks.
And you have mine for always providing such a unique challenge. To impose your desires upon reality so artfully. You could teach.
Well, that was it. Yeah. God, that was like a. Oh, God. That was a lot. But yeah, that was all the Destiny 2 cutscenes from start to current, or roughly current. But in any case, I think in a little bit I'll hop into some Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel for a bit, and then maybe play some Destiny 2 a bit. I should check back up with some Overwatch. I don't know. I should check back with Overwatch. But anyway, I will see you guys soon. But that was fun. It's fun to revisit certain older storylines from the Destiny game. I think Rise of Iron was still my favorite arc or favorite expansion of Destiny 2. But in any case, I will see you guys in a little while. If not, see you all soon. Take care. Have a great weekend. Peace.